Hello everybody, my name is Sam Gregory, and in this quick video I'm going to talk to you about shooting square and printing square as well. Now, I'm a person that uses a square format very regularly when I'm out in the field shooting through my camera at the time of capture. Now, whether you do that or whether you like to crop to square afterwards, doesn't matter to me. The important thing is that you can now print really beautiful images at home using a Canon Pro 300, for example, and the Fotospeed square paper, and you can make fantastic images like this at home, like I say. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why it's important to have the actual square paper, or why I find it very helpful. And we're going to look at printing this particular image both through the Canon professional print and layout software, and indeed printing it through Lightroom. And we'll get into that right away.
Okay everyone, so this is the image that we're going to be working on, as you can see. And just before I get into showing you the square print from Lightroom and from the Canon professional print and layout software, I did say that I would cover why it's important for me to have square paper. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. You can, of course, print square on A4 or A3, absolutely. However, if you're then going to frame that image up into a square frame, you have to cut it. And if you're then going to be making multiple square prints across multiple bits of paper and multiple framings, that's an awful lot of extra faffing about and wasted paper that you have to take account for. So if you do regularly shoot square, I would say that having the actual square paper will speed up your after print workflow. If you very rarely shoot square, then obviously you may want to just stick to A4, but I think having square and printing square is a good way to do it. Now, I'm going to talk about printing it in Lightroom and setting up a custom square paper size in the print module, and then we'll look at it in the Canon professional print and layout software as well. So we have our image here in develop, and when we would be ready to print, we just go over obviously to our print module. Now, what you can see is the square image set up in an A4 template. So the last image I printed from Lightroom was at A4, and thus it's got me an A4 template here. However, we want to print on square paper, so we need to tell Lightroom that it's going to be a square paper so that it puts it through the printer in the right way, and obviously we want to see how our image sits within square paper. So there's a couple of things I want to show you. In page setup, just down here, you can go in and choose your paper size. Now, as it stands in Lightroom, there is square 12 by 12 and there is square 5 by 5. However, Fotospeed sell 8 by 8 inch square paper as well. And as it stands, you don't have the facility in the presets to put that in. So what I'm going to show you is just how to set up a custom size. You can see I've already got them here, but let me just show you guys how to do it. So you go to Manage Custom Sizes, and then you hit the plus button here, and you can double click in here and type in it what it is. So I'm just going to call that Test 8. There we go. And then what we need to do is set the paper size. Now I'm going to just tell you that 8-inch paper is 203.2 millimeters. So we're just going to put that in the width and the height, and I'm actually going to blank out all these margins and just press OK. Now it then presets in your paper size, your new custom one that you've put in there, and I'm going to just press OK. And hey presto, that has now changed to an 8 by 8 preview of what we're going to print. So what we just need to be mindful of is I would put all my margins here again back to 0. And then in your cell size, that's obviously the cell that the image preview is sitting within, make sure that's remaining as keep square, and you can just put the size up or down accordingly, and it will just move the width and the height. I'm just going to put it to 16 centimeters, as I know that works quite nicely on 8 by 8. And again, this is just an example for you. And down here, obviously like normal, you would click your profile and make sure you've got the correct profile for the paper that you're going to use. So in this instance, I'm going to print on platinum etching. And then if you have a preference on your intent based on your soft proof, you can choose that here as well. Now, I'm not going to print for a couple of reasons. One, I'm just going to show you it in the Canon Professional Print and Layout software, and two, we're actually going to print this on 12-inch paper. But that was just to show you how to set up that custom size. Now, if we go back to develop, and we're going to do it in the Canon Professional Print and Layout, which I've done a separate video on, and I think is quite a neat bit of kit. And it comes when you get the Canon printers, you can download this software as well. So you go up to File, Plug in Extras, and then Canon Professional Print and Layout. Now, like the Lightroom print module, what this will do is just plonk that image into the last template that you used. Now, as it stands, the last thing I did was actually an A3 paper landscape image, as you can see. And what it's tried to do is put this square into landscape. So I wanted to show you this because it's no good me having that already set up and coming in a square, because you need to come at it as if you've not done this yet. So first things first, we need to just rotate the image so that it's of its correct orientation. So just do that there. And then what's really easy about the Professional Print and Layout software is that it has all the square options for you at various sizes, like Lightroom of 5x5 and 12x12. And again, you can go in and you can specify a custom size, and you just add that in the same way that we did with Lightroom. So let's just do that now. We're just going to say test 8, and our sizes again are 203.2 and height 203.2, and then press OK and OK. And we have that in there as an option as well. Okay, so you can just put that in and leave it in, and it'll still be there next time. However, I'm just going to print us on the square for now because that's what I have ready to go. And like I said, I'm not going to walk through all these settings because I've already done a separate video about using this in the Canon Pro 300 first print video, where I walk through this in a lot more detail. But all I would say, just make sure your alignment is center and you have the correct sizings here. So we can see that maintain slot aspect ratio is correct because it's a square again. And I'm just going to put it at, let's say, what should we say, 250, 250, yeah, presets that for us. And that's going to be quite a nice 250mm on the 12-inch paper. Okay, now down here you would select Use ICC Profile. And again, just like in Lightroom, you select your printer profile and again your rendering intent. So it's very, very similar, to be honest, to Lightroom. What I do find as a final thought is that I never have any issues with centering and it printing centered. Sometimes that can trip people up in Lightroom. It's to do with the border settings, which I won't go into now, but it can be a bit of a fiddle. I think if you come through the Professional Print and Layout software and get square paper and centered layout, you're never going to have any problems. So that's pretty much that. Let's hit print and we'll check it out when it comes out.
So here's our final image. I hope you found that process interesting, and I would encourage you to grab some of the square paper if it's something that you find yourself shooting in quite a lot. It's available in 8x8 inch and 12x12 inch in a variety of paper finishes. My personal favourite is the platinum etching, but the platinum baryta is also an excellent option, especially for black and white images. So, like I say, hope you found this useful. Do check out the Fotospeed channel, subscribe for more videos like this about printing and tips for your photography and printing at home. And I will speak to you again very soon.